Do I sit here?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
So, Mary, tell us a little bit about your technique.
Well, when I found out my theater department was putting on the show The Little Mermaid, I was in awe. I knew immediately what role was best suited for me. And I did what all great actors do, and I completely immersed myself into the role of Sebastian the Crab. I knew that the only way I could play Sebastian is if I fully understood the mind of a crustacean.
So basically what you're saying is,
In order to play a crab, one must become the crab. Yeah, it was the pool. That's where all of this really happened. Man, wow. What a time. I actually remember the day I began my process into becoming a crab. I had a meeting with my boss, but the transition had already begun, so needless to say, I didn't go to that meeting because I was now a crab. I didn't know what this job was. I didn't know who that man was. So, of course, he called me and he said, if you miss one more meeting, you're fired. But I was now a crab, so I couldn't respond. All I could do was make clicking noises. I'm now unemployed. But I think it was for the best because my job would have just impeded on my transformation, which was into crab.
so what exactly did this transformation entail?
I mean, in simple terms, I had to live as if I was a crab.
Not being able to use my peripheral vision was life-changing. Keeping my eyes facing forward helped me visualize looking forward to my future, but physically, of course, I could only move sideways. A crab's bed is the ocean floor. For legal reasons, I could not sleep in Lake Michigan, so I had to live in a hole in my own backyard. I would get whatever rest I could, but a crab must always be alert and ready for predators that may be lurking around every corner.
Freezing! You're tearing this family apart. Mary, you know I don't speak crab. Please come inside.
So, what would you say is your greatest difficulty in your journey to crabhood?
I would say the hardest part was developing my ability to breathe underwater.
You have to understand, it wasn't for lack of trying, but in the end there was lifeguard intervention. But it feels like they knew I was close, and if they knew I was able to breathe underwater, their position would become obsolete.
I mean, I knew and they knew that their industry was a fraud. All right, the reasons that they gave were weak and circumstantial at best. The pool is closed, or you're taking in too much water, or if you come back here, you will call the police. Okay, have fun trying to arrest a crab.
Once you've become a crab, it's hard to go back to the life you knew from before. People are at Whole Foods and they see what, dinner? But I look and I see my family.
So, how's your life changed since the cast list came out?
Well, I wasn't expecting that question. I'm doing fine, yeah.
Well, how does it feel knowing you worked so hard for a role and you didn't get it?
Can we turn the cameras off, please?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
You have no idea what it's like to be misrepresented on stage. You don't know how much I've gone through, the sacrifices that had to be made, the very real bridges that I have burned. Warrants out for my arrest for radical crowd protests and arson.
There we go.
Sebastian is only one crab. And I've learned the stories of many crabs that would have gone unspoken if not for my tireless efforts. And sure, the girl who plays Sebastian will be in the yearbook this year, but I will be in the history books for what I have done for the crab movement.